Beach Fun Day by Makala. From the Fireman Brian series. One sunny day on Pontypandy Beach, it was the day of the big Pontypandy Beach Fun Day. There were a lot of beach goers on the beach just chilling and having a good time. Some people were sunbathing on their beach towels, some were swimming in the ocean water, and some were even helping a group of kids build sand castles. Jacob James, Rose Johnson, Gabby Pullman, and Malcolm James were on the beach playing frisbee. "Ready for Jacob's rocket throw?" asks Jacob. "You bet I am," said Rose. "Whoosh," said Jacob, as he threw the frisbee over to Rose. Rose was trying so hard to catch the frisbee. I got it, said Rose. Rose caught the frisbee. "Got it," said Rose. Meanwhile, in another part of the beach, Tyler Johnson was cooking hot dogs on the barbecue for all the beach goers. "The hot dogs are almost ready," said Tyler. Two beach goers are seen walking past Tyler. "Those hot dogs smell delicious," said one of the beach goers. "Yeah, I can't wait to taste one. With ketchup and mustard," said another beach goer, as he laughed. Meanwhile, Rose Johnson, Gabby Pullman, Jacob James, and Malcolm James were continuing to play frisbee. "All right, Rose. Now I'm going to throw the frisbee really, really hard. Are you ready?" asks Jacob. "Ready when you are," said Rose. "Okay, here goes nothing," said Jacob. "Whoosh," said Jacob, as he threw the frisbee really hard. Rose Johnson was running backwards in order to catch the frisbee. Without looking, Rose Johnson was heading towards Tyler Johnson's barbecue. I got it, said Rose. "Careful, Rose. I'm still cooking," said Tyler. Rose Johnson accidentally bumped into Tyler's barbecue, making it fall over and land on the beach sand. Tyler sighed. "The hot dogs," said Tyler. A fire broke out on the beach sand. Tyler Johnson, Rose Johnson, Jacob James, Malcolm James, Gabby Pullman, and all the beach goers run off the beach and moved to a safe distance away from the fire. "What are we going to do?" said one of the beach goers, as he panicked. "Call Fireman Brian," said another beach goer. The beach goer called Fireman Brian. Meanwhile, at the Pontypandy fire station, the map screen 700 was flashing and buzzing the fire service logo, and Captain Williams received an emergency call from it. Captain Williams ran up to the map screen 700 and pushed a button on the control dashboard. "Rose Johnson has knocked over Tyler Johnson's barbecue while playing frisbee on the beach," said the map screen 700. Captain Williams pushed the red button and the fire alarm bell started to go off and it was ringing. "Rose Johnson has knocked over Tyler Johnson's barbecue while playing frisbee on the beach," said Captain Williams over the PA system. Fireman Brian, firefighter Kelly Green, and firefighter Ellie Washington slid down the fireman's pole and put on their firefighting uniforms and helmets. Fireman Brian and firefighter Kelly got into the fire truck and buckled their seatbelts. Firefighter Ellie got into the water tender and buckled her seatbelt. The two emergency vehicles drive off to the emergency scene with the sirens on. When the firefighters arrived at the beach, Fireman Brian and firefighter Kelly Green got out of the fire truck and shut the doors. Firefighter Ellie Washington got out of the water tender and shut the door. They saw the fire on the beach in the distance. "That looks like a pretty massive fire. We're going to need our breathing apparatuses and the hoses for this one," said Fireman Brian. "Okay, Fireman Brian," said firefighter Kelly. Firefighter Kelly got out the breathing apparatuses and she and Fireman Brian put them on. Firefighter Kelly Green connects the red water hose to the fire truck's water supply. Fireman Brian and firefighter Kelly Green were trying to carry the hoses down to where the fire was on the beach, but firefighter Kelly Green fell down, but she was fine, indicating that the hoses were too short to reach the fire. "The fire is too far, and the hoses are too short to reach the fire." "Okay, time for Plan B," said Fireman Brian. "Firefighter Ellie, I need you to get back in the water tender and drive up to where the fire is. We're going to have to contain the fire with the water cannon," said Fireman Brian. "Okay, Fireman Brian," said firefighter Ellie. Firefighter Ellie climbed back into the water tender, shut the door, and fastened her seatbelt. She was driving the water tender up to where the fire was. When the water tender made it to the location of the fire, firefighter Ellie Washington got out of the water tender and shut the door. Firefighter Ellie Washington ran to the back of the water tender to activate the water cannon. Firefighter Ellie Washington was standing up on the back of the water tender and holding on to the water cannon's handles. She was putting out the fires on the beach. Before long, all fires were out. All of the beach goers cheered for Fireman Brian and all his crew for putting out a very dangerous fire on the beach, saving the big Pontypandy Beach Fun Day, and for showing an act of bravery. That's the way to do it, said one of the beach goers. Yeah, Fireman Brian is a true hero, said another beach goer. All the beach goers were continuing to cheer for Fireman Brian and all his crew. Meanwhile, Fireman Brian went over to the beach to investigate the cause of the fire. He saw Tyler's burnt hot dogs on the ground and a knocked over barbecue. So what happened here? It looks like the fire started here, said Fireman Brian. Well, you see, Fireman Brian, I was making hot dogs and then Rose bumped into my barbecue and it got knocked over. And now, with the hot dogs burnt, all the beach goers are not going to have a taste of those delicious hot dogs, said Tyler. Fireman Brian picked up the hot dogs and he coughed because the hot dogs were burnt. Yeah, it does look like you burnt the hot dogs. And I'm sorry that no one can have your hot dogs. I was looking forward to them too, said Fireman Brian. So what are we going to have in our tummies now, Dad? We're starving, said Rose Johnson. Well, since we can't have hot dogs anymore, I bought hamburgers and buns on the way over. And there's plenty for everyone, said Tyler. Hooray! I love hamburgers, said Rose Johnson. And me, said one of the beach goers. And all of us, said all of the beach goers. Fireman Brian laughed. Well, it looks like you're going to have a lot of hungry tummies to feed, Tyler, said Fireman Brian. Tyler Johnson set his barbecue back up on the beach sand, and he turned it back on and started making hamburgers for all the beach goers instead of hot dogs. Meanwhile, all the beach goers were eating delicious hamburgers on buns courtesy of Tyler Johnson. Yummy. These hamburgers are so good. Thanks, Dad, said Rose. You're welcome, sweetheart, said Tyler. The end.